Hello everyone, we are only a few days away from the Hero's Journey Tarot course taking place this Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. at Station 1 Center for the Arts. I wanted to give you a brief example of how the Hero's Journey through the Major Arcana course is different than your average tarot course by giving you an example using card 15, the Devil card. The brief customary meaning of the Devil card is being caught up in an unhealthy situation that harms your spirit in some way. It represents times when we are dealing with lower energies, including materialism, greed, entertaining lusts or addictions, being trapped in negative energy patterns of anger, judgment, envy, control, fear, egocentrism. The card is colored black, meaning our consciousness is trapped in a dark place, or we are unaware that we are in a bad situation spiritually. These types of energies and situations are things that we all encounter in life, and through introspection, they invite us to break free from this lower state of awareness and the bondage it brings to our spirits. This is an energy we all deal with all of the time because there is always room for awareness and refinement in our lives. We need to use annoying or uncomfortable circumstances to release ourselves from a lower way of thinking, thereby becoming more aware of ourselves and others as spiritual beings. So that's just a quick general overview of the meaning of the Devil card. But when we look at the meaning of the Devil card in terms of the Hero's Journey through the Major Arcana, we see that actually the Devil card represents the pivot point in our spiritual understanding. We are looking at this energy as an awakening energy, the point on our journey where we realize that the material world and all of its trappings and pains and sufferings is an illusion, and that it is the spiritual world and our lives as spiritual beings that is true reality. So let's take a look again at this card. Here the Devil is depicted as the negative polarities of Capricorn and Pan. The negative polarity of Capricorn represents restriction, hardship, turmoil, and struggle. And the negative polarity of Pan represents base animal instincts within us on earth: lust, greed, dominance, etc. This is hell. It's literally hell on earth because it is a spiritual condition. It's the spirit of the unawakened in our world, and truly this is the source of all of our suffering. Quite simply, if you solely identify with money, social status, possessions, appearances, career, then you are missing the point of life because you have not awakened to your spiritual nature and the spiritual nature behind all form. So the energy of the Devil will only increase in our lives personally and in the world at large if we do not wake up and change our ways and change our perceptions. And perception is the key word here, as we'll see in a moment. The Devil card in the Hero's Journey serves as the instigator. It's meant to shake you out of a lower way of seeing things and to release us from the limitations of matter and material form. The Devil energy, when used properly, invites us to perceive the world of spirit that underlies all form. This is the divine nature within you and within all things. So how do we do this? The clue is in the Hebrew name for this card, which is Ayin. Ayin means eye. And if you look at the Devil's forehead covering the area of the pineal gland, you'll see that he has a pentagram placed there, but it is an inverted pentagram. Symbolically, a pentagram represents quintessence or God consciousness. It is the fifth element that rules over the other four elements of earth, water, air, and fire, the elements of the minor arcana. So to have an upside down or inverted pentagram over the pineal gland symbolizes energy that has not yet awakened to God consciousness or the Holy Spirit within. This means that you are looking at the world through the vision of the Devil, seeing the material world as the only reality. And if that's the way you perceive the world, your actions are geared towards lower energies naturally, by the way. Taking advantage of others for your own gain, power issues, greed, The pentagram points down towards these lower ways of thinking and perceiving. However, when we turn this pentagram right side up, then we see the symbolic message of how to be reborn spiritually. So let's look at Michelangelo's spiritual masterpiece, The Vitruvian Man, depicting this spiritual understanding beautifully. When God consciousness is awakened within us, we are living in the material world, which is symbolized as the square. But at the same time, we are awakened to our divine nature, which is symbolized by the circle. And through God consciousness, or the Holy Spirit, which is symbolized by the pentagram, we act as the eyes, ears, mouth, hands of God on earth, the Holy Spirit on earth, and we become the vehicles of the divine, which is what the hero's journey is all about. So that's it for now. It's just a brief look at one card. There's a lot more that I'm looking forward to sharing with you, and I hope you'll join me on Saturday.